Welcome to episode 141 of Morning Kickoff, and today we have a fun one. So, now week 14 just completed with the NFL season, and now we have 4 more weeks. So we have an extra week, week 18, and I'm sure you all know that. But this is the most exciting time of the NFL season because now you get to really feel tension. You get to see it all come down to the wire because there are teams. Nobody has clinched a playoff spot yet. You're seeing teams get eliminated left and right, and you just every game is important now. Well, except for like Jaguars, Houston, but every game is important now, and we're going to be taking a look at this going forward with this team, and with this NFL season. So if we head on over to our screen share, if we go right here, we have the what is this? The NFL playoff machine, ESPN. I'll zoom out so we can see a little bit more of that. All right, we have it right here, and we're going to be making our predictions for the playoff picture for the 2021 season and the 2022 playoffs. And this is really exciting because this is the best time of the NFL season. We have 4 more weeks left, and this is when it all gets serious. Now, you'll take a look over here real quick. You see all the teams in the playoff picture. You have the 1 seeds all the way down here. You see the teams in the bubble or in the hunt, and then you head on down here and you see the teams eliminated. Now, you'll see right here, you have 3 teams eliminated. You have the first NFC team eliminated. Now, if you've been listening to the podcast over here, we have years since the Lions won a playoff game. Detroit Lions just got eliminated after losing to the Cincinnati Bengals, RIP Thomas, but now they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals and have been eliminated from the playoffs. So even though they're a 1-11-1, they had a hard-fought season, and their record is about where we expected them to be. They aren't the worst team in NFL history, or the worst team as of right now in NFL history when you're talking about their franchise. They are, but as a whole, right now they got eliminated, so we're going to add 1 more year to that real quick. 30 years since the Lions won a playoff game. I haven't even been alive 30 years. We're going to add a little tally mark over here to the board. Dash along there. Boom. Oh, just dropped it. 30 years since the Detroit Lions have won a playoff game. That's unbelievable. And I believe I've only watched them in the playoffs twice. I don't even, in fact, as a matter of fact, the only time I can remember the Lions being in the playoffs was that year they made it as a wild. They didn't make it as a division winner. They made it as a wild card in 2016 with Matthew Stafford. I remember that season. But other than that, I mean, Detroit Lions have been the laughingstock, and after the Vikings lost to them, we were the laughingstock of the NFL. So interesting to see them. 1 more tally mark on that. 30 years since the Lions have won a playoff game. That is unbelievable. But now heading back over to our little board, we have the NFL playoff machine on ESPN. I'll link this down below. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be linked in the description. Where you all can check this out. So what this is, we'll be making our little predictions going forward. So actually week 14 isn't completely done. We do have an important matchup tonight. Rams and Cardinals will play each other, and we're going to make our little prediction here, and I'm honestly going to go with the Rams. Now, I'll be cheering for the Cardinals in this game, but I really do believe the Rams are going to win. Rams just typically own the Cardinals. It just happens. I know the Cardinals beat the Rams in their own stadium this year, but as a whole, the matchup is very close, and I hope this game comes down to the wire. I believe Rams are really getting it together now. Defense is being exposed a little bit. Their defense, they have 2 of the best defensive players in the NFL in Aaron Donald and in Jalen Ramsey. However, their defense has been getting exposed. Cardinals defense is serious, and this will be an interesting game to watch. I believe Rams are going to be able to run the ball pretty well in this game and move the ball through the air. So after the Rams beat the Cardinals tonight on Monday Night Football, Green Bay will be into the 1 seed. I hate to see it. I hate Green Bay, but I believe they will be in the 1 seed after tonight. Going on to week 15, we're starting it off with Thursday Night Football, with the Chiefs will take on the Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to give this one to the Chiefs. Chiefs just, after they win this one, they'll move into the 1 seed. There's a 3-way tie currently with the Chiefs, Patriots, and Titans at 9-4 in the AFC. Chiefs, I believe, they're red hot right now. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak, and it's not like they've only beat 5 bad teams going up against Los Angeles Chargers. That's always a fun game to watch. This will be in SoFi Stadium, but I believe the Chiefs, no one wants to play them right now after 5 straight wins. Now you have 2 teams, Las Vegas Raiders and Cleveland Browns. 2 teams who are right now in the hunt and looking into the playoff spot, hopefully trying to take one of those wild card spots in the playoffs. Now, this will be a little bit of an interesting one. I believe it just has to go to the Browns here. Raiders are falling apart, and you're seeing it happen. Their defense looks amazing. They have one of the best defensive end duos, and they're going to be able to get to Baker Mayfield. But the problem is, it doesn't matter if you're getting into Baker Mayfield. They're going to run all over that Las Vegas defense. Denzel Perriman's also having a great year. So their defense has been pretty solid, but I just believe Browns would come on the right side of that. Now we have an interesting one right here with Patriots and Colts. Two teams who dominate in the trenches and run the ball very well, play hard defense. Two teams also in the playoff picture right now. Colts are trying to play for their division, trying to take that division from Tennessee to get a home field advantage in the playoffs, and Patriots playing for that 1 seed. This is going to be a tough one, and it'll be in Lucas Oil Stadium, and we're going to have to give it to the Indianapolis Colts here. The thing is with the Patriots, sooner or later they're going to have to pass. Right now they're the favorites to win in the AFC, which is surprising, and that's why this season has been great. I love this NFL season because it's very unpredictable. Now, obviously, you assume that the Patriots are going to be at least good every year. We didn't expect them to be this good as a rookie quarterback starting under center. So credit to the Patriots. They're playing very well. Thing is, I just believe if you make their offense one-dimensional, you force them to pass, it's going to be hard for a rookie quarterback to be able to go to Lucas Oil Stadium and take out the Indianapolis Colts, who run the ball very well and dominate in the trenches, like I've said. Carolina Panthers and Buffalo Bills. This is another interesting one. Panthers are playing for that wild card spot in the playoffs. Bills right now are also playing for a wild card spot, which is very crazy because we all expected Bills to lock down the AFC East. We thought the AFC East was completely open after Tom Brady left the Patriots. We assumed that the Bills were going to dominate the AFC East. That hasn't been the case. So Buffalo and Carolina both playing for that playoff berth right now, going to Buffalo to play the Bills. Although their offense has been very lackluster so far this season, we're going to give it to the Bills in this matchup. Jets, Dolphins, I mean, who cares? We're just going to click tie on all the ones we don't care about. I mean, it doesn't matter. Washington and Eagles, two teams also, two NFC East teams playing for that playoff berth. I believe they have a tied record right now. I think Washington and Eagles, yep, both in the NFC East have a 6-7 record. So a crucial win for both of these teams. Tough right here because we don't know if Heineke is going to play. We don't know if Antonio Gibson is going to play. And Jalen Hurts is up and down right now. And even if Jalen Hurts doesn't play, I mean, Gardner Minshew has done a great job as well. So I'm just going to have to give it to the Eagles in this game. And then you have Cardinals, Lions. We'll just give it to the Cardinals. Texans, Jaguars. We're just going to click tie there. I mean, we're going to skip over all those stupid ones. Colts, Dallas and New York. We're going to give it to Dallas. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but they're just going to have to dominate New York, even if they're playing in New York. And then you have Tennessee and Steelers. So another crucial game right here. Steelers are playing for that wild card spot. Now, it's tough because we all count the Steelers out. I mean, we marked them off the board already, but Tennessee is a very interesting team, and that's why I believe this game is going to be an upset because Tennessee, without Derrick Henry, without A.J. Brown, and we don't even know, oh no, Julio Jones is back. Okay, Julio Jones is back, but still, Joe Hayden might be back in this game. They might have TJ Watt back. Just going to have to give it to Pittsburgh in this game. And Tennessee, no one's scared of Tennessee right now. With all their injuries that they're having, no one fears Tennessee. I know they were on top of the AFC earlier this season, but it's just, I can't believe some of the wins they've been able to come up with. And as long as Derrick Henry is not there and A.J. Brown is not there, I don't think they can stop that Steelers defense, who, it's a little interesting. We're going to have to see how that Tennessee run game looks without Derrick Henry. We saw how Deontay Foreman just had a great Hillard or whatever his name is. I mean, they've been able to run the ball well, but again, going to have to give that one to Pittsburgh, Bengals, and Broncos. So this is another interesting one right here because these are two teams that we counted out already, but can still be those kind of dark horse candidates in the playoffs. So this will be a little interesting one. I'm just going to have to go with Broncos in this game. Bengals are up and down. I mean, you really never know what to expect with them. 49ers over the Falcons, Green Bay, and this is another huge one. Green Bay playing for that number 1 seed, and so are the Ravens. Ravens are 8-5 right now, but are another team that can be playing for that 1 seed and want to lock down their division. As you can see right here, Cleveland moving into the playoffs. Cleveland can definitely compete for the NFC or the AFC North as well. Right here, this is a tough one. I just think the Packers are better on both sides of the ball in this. Packers defense has been very surprising so far this season. I mean, I love Devondre Campbell. I'm a huge Gophers fan. He's been dominating on the defensive side of the ball. And although they didn't look great on Sunday Night Football, again, their defense has been surprisingly good. I mean, we didn't expect to have high expectations for their defense after the 2020 season. It's been surprisingly good this season so far. And Lamar Jackson might miss this game as well. So if Lamar Jackson misses this game, we really don't know. I mean, we don't know how this backup is going to look with them. Lamar Jackson Jr. is basically who he is. And then you have Seahawks and Rams over here. We're going to give that one to the Rams. Saints and Buccaneers. We'll give that one to the Buccaneers. I can't believe the Saints are even in the hunt right now. Saints are terrible. It just comes to show how great how important a coaching staff really is. I mean, I Taysom Hill, would he even be a household name if he wasn't with the Saints? Absolutely not. And I can't believe he's getting that high of a contract. And he's running the ball over all over defenses as well, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do that against the Buccaneers defense. I believe they will stop Taysom Hill in this game. And then you have Vikings Bears on Monday Night Football. This is a tough one. I mean, it's hard to beat Chicago at Soldier Field, but again, I'm going to go with my Minnesota Vikings here. I just think the Vikings, and as you can see, we'll move into that 7th seed if we beat the Bears and if Washington loses in this week. So that would be after week 15. And this is heating up because teams are getting eliminated right now and teams are moving into the playoff picture. Every win is important for these teams, and Vikings will move into that 7th seed at 7-7, which should be tied with other. Oh no, they wouldn't be tied with other teams. Anyways, Vikings 7-7 moving into that playoff spot. I would love to see that happen. Week 16 comes up, and now we have another interesting one, starting off with San Francisco and Tennessee playing on Thursday Night Football. This is an interesting one. San Francisco dominates in the trenches, and they pass the ball pretty well too. Tennessee, another team. I gotta go San Francisco. I believe Tennessee is going to be that team that's going to fall apart. They're still going to make the playoffs, and they might still win their division. They'll make the playoffs either as a division title in the AFC South, or Colts will overtake them. Either way, Tennessee will be in the playoffs, and they'll be a hard team to beat. But again, I can't pick the Tennessee Titans to win any of these upcoming games without Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, the way they've been looking. Again, Tennessee suffering with a lot of injuries. I've got to give this one to the 49ers, who have also suffered with some injuries. But as long as Deebo Samuel's here to run the ball all over them, they should be winning. Packers over the Browns. We're going to... Colts, Cardinals, Week 16 matchup. I mean, I got to go Cardinals. Cardinals defense is, like I said, with the Packers, has just been so good this season. And we didn't expect this. I mean, Isaiah Simmons, Budda Baker, like they have some serious ballers on that defense. And then obviously Chandler Jones, he's set to be a free agent coming up. I mean, they have some serious ballers on that defense who have been stopping some of the best offenses in football. So I got to give that one to the Cardinals. And as Kyler Murray and D-Hop's obviously back, so their offense is complete right there. Lions, Falcons, who cares? We'll give that one a tie. Buccaneers, okay, gotta go Bucks. I mean, I'll be cheering against the Buccaneers, but they just have to be a top 3 team in the NFL this year, and it's just no one wants to play Tom Brady in the playoffs. I don't believe the Buccaneers are the best team in the NFL, but again, they're gonna. I don't want them to make a Super Bowl, but we're gonna pick them to win over the Panthers here. But Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, Ravens. It's so tough. Ravens have been very disappointing. I mean, we all expected them to be up and down this season like they've been through the Lamar Jackson era, but both of these teams are just up and down. That can go either way. Chargers and okay, we'll go Chargers, who cares? Rams and Vikings. Okay, 2 teams, as you can see right here. 5th seed Rams, 7th seed Vikings want to lock down their wild card spots as their division aren't very open right now. Although the Cardinals could fall apart and the Rams could overtake the Cardinals, but right here playing the Vikings at US Bank Stadium, and Rams, this one's tough. This one's tough because Stafford has played us a lot. Stafford has played us a lot so far, and Vikings defense is god-awful, and I'm going to have to give this one to the Rams. I hate to pick the Rams to win over us, and as you can see, Vikings would fall out of that 7th seed, but it's just tough because Vikings, this is going to have to be a shootout. If the Vikings win that game, they'll have to score more points than the Rams, which is going to be tough because although the Rams aren't the best passing offense in football and running offense in football, they're going to look like it against the Minnesota Vikings defense. And then we have Bills, Patriots, and NFC East rivalry right there. Patriots just own the Bills. I'm going to have to give it to them again. Yeah, we'll give it to the Patriots. Jaguars, Jets, who cares? Giants, Eagles. I think Giants are just going to do an upset there. Bears and Seahawks, who cares? Steelers, Chiefs, we'll give that one to the Chiefs. Broncos, Raiders. Ooh. We'll just give it to the Broncos there. We'll give Raiders. Washington and Dallas over here, NFC East rivalry. That's another tough one. I mean, Washington it's so hard because they have some injuries on offense. I mean, their tight end Logan Thomas is out for the season, and then Kyle Allen's been starting at quarterback because Heineke went out. Antonio Gibson, the McKissick has been injured. It's hard to know who's going to play, but Cowboys are just respectably a better team. Washington, I really don't understand because Washington is terrible. And if they make the playoffs, they'll be an easy out. but somehow they're making games close. They dominate in the trenches. Their defensive end duo is amazing. Defensive line as a whole has been great. Thing is, they're going to be easy out in the playoffs. I mean, they're 1-5 against playoff teams right now, 1-5. So if they make the playoffs, whoever is going to play them will be glad to get an easy win against Washington. So we're going to pick Cowboys to win that one. Saints and Dolphins. Who cares? I'm counting the Saints out. Over here, okay, we'll get that one of the Bills. New York Giants, Chicago Bears. I mean, both teams are going to be out. Who cares? We'll give that a tie. Chiefs and Bengals. We'll give that Chiefs. Ooh, this is another tough one. Cowboys and Cardinals. That will likely be the game of the week. Two teams playing for that higher seed in the NFC. Cowboys, Cardinals. I'm going to give that to Cardinals. Raiders, Colts. Okay, this is a good one. So Raiders, although the Raiders haven't been like a high-scoring team, and I know they've suffered with a lot of things so far this season, more than any other team right now, not counting injuries. I'm talking about inner coaching staff and that. They've suffered with a lot, but their defense has been surprisingly solid. I mean, Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue have been a great defensive end duo. Denzel Perriman's been able to stop the run up the middle. I believe he's top 5 in tackles right now. I mean, their defense is solid. Colts, again, the Colts, you just got to give it to them. They dominate in the trenches, and it's going to be so hard to stop the Colts. Whoever beats the Colts, they'll be a hard team to beat. Now, I'm not predicting the Colts to make a Super Bowl or anything, but they will be a very tough team to beat in the playoffs. I don't think anyone wants to play them. And right here, Colts, I mean, you see right here, Colts with a 6 seed will be playing Tennessee with a 3rd seed. I mean, that's a division rival right there. Colts would probably win that. Colts would probably win that. And then Jaguars, Patriots, we'll give that Patriots. We're going to give that one a tie. Who cares? Buccaneers, Jets, we'll give that Bucks. Dolphins, Titans. Dolphins, okay. Now we're talking, because Dolphins coming off of a bye, they're on a win streak right now, and coming off of this bye week could get hot, secretly make a playoff run, and I'm counting the Titans out right now. Derrick Henry won't be back. AJ Brown likely won't be back. Do we give it to the Dolphins? Do we trust in Tua? Tua turn the ball over? No, we're gonna go Titans. Dolphins are a tough team because what are the Dolphins at? 6-7 right now. I mean, they can make a playoff run. They'll have to pass up Bills. I mean, AFC's tough. Like, AFC might not have top teams like the NFC does, where Green Bay, Arizona, Tampa Bay are top 5 teams in the NFL. But the AFC, everybody on this list can make a Super Bowl run. Everyone on this list is very good. And then you look at the NFC, and I'm going to count my Vikings out. My Vikings are not going to be making a Super Bowl. I don't think 49ers will as well, but the rest of them can definitely compete for a Super Bowl. But we'll count my Vikings out here. And then over here, Eagles, Washington. Eagles, Washington. We'll give it Washington. Broncos, Chargers. We'll give that Chargers. San Francisco, Rams. Just going to move a little bit quicker here. Who cares? Seahawks and Lions are both going to be eliminated from the playoffs at this point. Vikings, Packers. Okay. Vikings, Packers. Huge rivalry here. My Minnesota Vikings going to Green Bay to take on the Packers in December weather. Yeah, got to go Packers here. Vikings are falling out of the 7th seed again. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard for the Vikings to win out the rest of their games. I mean, it's tough because I want to pick my Vikings so bad to win there, and I don't want Packers to get the 1 seed, but beating Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay in that weather, it could be possible. Vikings run the ball better than the Packers, and they beat the Packers in Green Bay last year, but we're going to have to give that one to the Packers here. And then we'll give Browns over the Steelers. Browns moving into the top of their division. Wow, overtaking the Ravens. Browns, because they could run all over defenses. We'll give it to them. We'll give it to the Browns. Steelers and Saints and Falcons. We'll give that a tie. Who cares? Both teams will be eliminated from the playoffs by then. Steelers and Ravens. Give that to the Ravens. Jets and Ravens move on top of their division once again. Jets and Bills. Bills, obviously. Bengals and Browns. Browns move on top of their division once again. So this is a huge competition right now in the AFC North with Ravens and Cleveland. I believe Bengals will be out. Steelers will be out. I mean, Steelers are just falling apart right now. We're going to have to look to a rebuild. Ben Roethlisberger's going to be retired after this season. I don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback. Maybe we see a little Marcus Mariota. That's my prediction. I think Marcus Mariota is going to be starting with the Steelers next year. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft. I believe Marcus Mariota will be starting with them, which is a very odd prediction, but they could definitely use him. They could definitely use him on offense. Over here, we have Packers. Okay, we'll give it to the Packers. Don't have to say much there. Titans over the Colts. Easy picks right there. Go over there. And then Bears and Vikings. My Vikings once again are going to have to play an NFC North team. This is going to be at home. We'll give that to the Vikings, and Vikings will move into the 7th seed, and it's going to come down to this game if the Vikings can make the playoffs at 8-9. 8-9 and making the playoffs. That's not a very good record, but Washington and Giants over here. Vikings fall out and miss the playoffs. I want my Vikings, I want them to be in the playoffs, but once again, I don't want to get humiliated, and got to respect the teams that are better than us, and Rams will likely look good against the Vikings, and Packers, it's going to be tough to beat them at Lambeau Field, and those 2 losses will likely lose us our season. Cowboys and Eagles, we'll give that to the Cowboys. Panthers and Buccaneers, we'll give that Panthers. Seahawks, Cardinals, we'll give that Cardinals. Chiefs will win over the Broncos. We'll go Rams, and then we'll go Chargers. So that is the final list right there of AFC and NFC teams. These are my predictions for who will make the playoffs. Now that I look at this, I don't like this list at all, because Chiefs get the 1 seed and Patriots fall to the 2 seed. And I don't want to see either one of those teams. I'd rather see the Chiefs get a first round bye than the Patriots, because I'm so done with the Patriots and I don't want to see them make another Super Bowl run. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl just because of how dominant they've been the last 5 weeks. That team has really come together, and we didn't expect them to be as the 3rd seed right now, where they are as of Monday, December 13th. They're the 3rd seed in the AFC, and we didn't expect this with the Kansas City Chiefs. But again, going forward, they're on a 5-game win streak. I don't think anybody's stopping the Chiefs and that offense right now. I believe they just beat 41-13 or something like that over the Raiders, was it? Again, the Kansas City Chiefs just coming in hot, and they're going to probably take that first round bye. I hate to say it, but it'll likely happen. I like to cheer for the underdogs. I would like to see Titans and Browns step in there, but it's not going to happen. We're going to have Chiefs 1 seed, Patriots 2 seed, Titans 3 seed, Browns 4th seed, Chargers 5th seed, Colts 6th seed. Got to go for the Colts there. I'm cheering for them as a little underdog. They can make a playoff. Colts, Tennessee will be a good game. And then Ravens at the 7th seed, who will travel to Gillette Stadium to take on the Patriots. Not what you want to see, but Ravens might come up with a win there. Ravens are used to playing in cold weather and traveling to Patriots to take on the Patriots in January weather. Ravens run the ball just as well as the Patriots do. Ravens will probably overtake the Patriots. I really can't trust a rookie quarterback in going into the playoffs. And then on the NFC, Packers will get a first round bye. I don't want to predict that to happen, but Packers will get a first round bye, 14-3. You hate to see it happen, but that will likely happen. Tampa Bay will get the 2nd seed. Tampa Bay, another tough team. We might see a repeat of last year's NFC Championship game with Packers and Tampa Bay playing at the NFC Championship. And then Arizona will fall to the 3rd seed. Cowboys will stay at the 4th seed. Rams will stay at the 5th seed. San Francisco 6th seed. Washington 7th seed. Washington making the playoffs. This will be such an easy win for Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Washington, actually, earlier this season, Washington did beat Buccaneers in the regular season. So maybe Washington just bring the same playbook you did last time you played the Buccaneers and play them in Tampa Bay and bring that same performance. That could happen. Washington can knock out Tom Brady in the playoffs. Imagine Taylor Heineke knocking, or Kyle Allen, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen knocking Tampa Bay, knocking Tom Brady off of the playoffs. That would be such a good sight to see. But again, no one wants to play Tom Brady in the playoffs. He's been there far too many times and is not under pressure, especially going up against Kyle Allen or Taylor Heineke or whoever he plays. But those are my predictions for the playoff picture. As of right now, it is week 14 just came to a finish, so we have 4 more weeks left. These next 4 weeks are going to be the best 4 weeks of the season. Going to close out strong with this Vikings team. I don't think Vikings will make the playoffs, but again, losing out will likely be the best case scenario for our Vikings team. We can definitely move on and rebuild. They're going to have to put an end to this current regime and rebuild around whoever is our next head coach, whether that is Brian Daboll or whether that is Eric Bieniemy or whoever comes in for our head coach. I'd be fine with whoever it is. No, I wouldn't be fine with whoever. I want it to be a young offensive-minded coach, but I would be fine with Vikings moving on before the season even ends, moving on for Mike Zimmer and rebuilding around this new regime that we're going to rebuild. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of Morning Kickoff.